feel that not only are you feeling correct in this thinking that skip counting is really easy, your brain actually will do it automatically, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to show you some pictures of some dots. And in your notebook, I want you to make that picture that I show you. Does that make sense? Okay? I want you to see if you can get the correct number of dots. Go ahead and turn to the next blank page. I think we're going to do 4, if I remember correctly. So let's go ahead and partition our paper into 4s, just like we did yesterday when we were in our groups. So this is the part where we're writing. Alright, I'm only going to show you the picture for 5 seconds. And then I'm going to turn it back up. And I want you to use your brain to recreate the picture. Does that make sense? Let's go ahead and number it so we know what box we're working in first. Alright, are you ready? Because 5 seconds is going to go fast. Let's stay very quiet during this so that people are really focused on the dots. When I cover the picture back up, then you can start writing. So put your pencil down. Ugh, so stressful. Just kidding, it's not. There's nothing there. Ready? Alright. Go ahead and draw it. Did you draw picture A? Okay. Alright, you ready to move on to picture 2? Ready? Set. Alright, go ahead and draw picture 2. In box number 2, Bryce. How you feeling so far? Show me with your thumb. This is easy peasy. I can do it all day. A little tricky. Miss Miller, I don't know what you're telling me to do. Most of you are here and here. Awesome. Awesome. Alright, next round. Ready? Set. Alright, go ahead and draw it. And last one. Ready? Set. Go ahead and draw it. Okay, I want to know what your strategies were. How did you remember all the dots? Because especially in that last one, there were quite a few dots. How did you remember them? Miranda, how did you remember them?
Lucas.
Okay. Okay. Bradley?
I counted them.
How did you count them?
Skip counting.
Did you? Did you put them in groups or did you count each dot?
I put them in groups.
Alright, so let's look at this first one. How did you remember that? How did you remember that? We already did this. Grace, how did you remember that?
Because there were groups of 4. I just gotta count how many groups of 4 there are.
Let me ask you this question, Grace. Which group of 4 did you see? Did you see them here? Or did you see them here?
That way.
This way? Give me a me too signal if you saw two groups of 4 like this. A lot of you did that. Do you think that was easier than trying to count every single dot?
Oh,
Weird. Let's think about the trickier ones. How did you remember that? That's a lot of dots. How did you remember it? Brayden, how did you remember that?
I saw that there was 4 at the beginning, then I counted how many rows there was, and then I wrote that down.
I love that. So Brayden said, okay, we still have our same group of 4. I can make that. And then he said, I know that these are kind of like in rows. Did you go vertical or did you go horizontal? Horizontal. So you said 1, 2, 3. Did you do that? Give me 2 signals if you did that. Okay, you want to do something different to remember that one? Eliana, what did you do?
I saw that it was 3 rows of 3 and 4 in each.
Ah, so 3 rows or 3 columns, and each one had 3 in it, and then each of those little individuals were still little pods of 4. Cool. Very cool. If you did it Eliana's way, give me 2 signals. Grace, you did something different? What'd you do?
I counted how many groups of 4 there was, and then draw those all on my board.
Awesome. So Grace, you just said, okay, I see 9 groups of 4. I just need to make sure I have 9 groups of 4. Love that. Nobody's brain said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Why? Why? Scarlett, why?
They would have taken forever.
They wanted to what?
I would have taken forever.
That would have taken forever. And your brain does not want to sit there and count all those dots if it knows the shortcut. And the shortcut is making those equal groups. Yes, ma'am.
I think that I do it because it really wouldn't have enough time because of all the other things. You just put it for about 10 or 20 seconds and then look at it back out and I knew I wouldn't have time to do that.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so we're going to talk about some ways to arrange these equal groups. Yesterday, we were drawing mittens and wheels on a car and eyeballs on faces, right? And while that works, it takes forever. And I don't want to draw 16 people with mittens on all their hands. That would take forever. So instead, we're going to think about them with a dot. And those dots you just looked at have a specific name. They're called arrays. Raise your hand if you've heard of an array before. All right, on the next blank page, I want you to title it Arrays. An array is a model using dots. Sometimes you'll see an array using squares. That's fine. But most of the time you see it with dots. Ethan, this is the part we were writing. A model using dots to show equal groups. I was writing, therefore you should be writing. So when we are grouping these dots, just like how Brayden saw that last group of dots and Eliana saw that last group of dots in these rows or columns, that is the 2 most important part of an array. Rows, horizontal, and columns that go up and down. Every array must have rows and columns. Exclamation point. If I'm writing, you're writing. So if I look at my array that I've drawn with my dots, you'll see I have 2 rows going across. I'll write this in a different color. I have 2 rows. Right, you see that? And then I have 3 columns. I want you to draw this 2 by 3 array in your notebook. Use big dots to see them, not just little pencil dots. Try to make it a bigger circle. Your array should look just like my array. So if we're thinking of this array as equal groups, I want you to circle our 3 equal groups. I know they're equal because each group has the exact same amount of dots. I don't have one group with 6 dots and one group with 1 dot. That would be good. So I have my 3 equal groups. From this array where I have my equal groups, I want to make a repeated addition equation. The number of groups tells me how many skip counts I'm going to do. 3 groups. I have my 3 spaces. If I'm writing, you're writing. I have my 3 skip counts. What am I skip counting by? How many dots are in each group? Scarlett? How many are in each group? 2 are in each group. So, 2, 2, 2. Now, if you wanted to add 2 plus 2 plus 2, you totally could. But I think you're a pretty good skip counter. Skip count that in your head. And raise your hand to tell me the sum. 2 plus 2 plus 2. Does anybody know the sum of that?
The sum?
The word sum is the mathematical word for an answer to an addition problem.
2 plus 2 plus 2?
Yep. Not 8. Too many 2s. Only 3 2s.
6.
6. This is the same thing-ish we did yesterday, just with dot pictures instead of real pictures. Right? Yes? No? Yes. Okay. We're going to work together in a moment, partners again, to working on some problems regarding school supplies. So I'm going to show you what that's going to look like. So in a minute you're going to get this piece of paper. And it reads, Miguel and Brianna go shopping for school supplies at the store. Help them find out how many of each they would buy. Use your cubes to help you make pictures. We don't have cubes, but in that math kit that you have, we have some counters. Go ahead and open up your math kit and get your counters out. Your counters are the red and yellow things. I'm going to move this from in front of you. And you had a math kit at one point.
No, the green one was mine.
So by now, you should have your counters out. Have a little self-control. They should just be in a pile. They don't need to all be on the same color. So if you're still touching them, that's probably a bit problematic. All right. So the first thing they're trying to buy are erasers. And erasers come in packs of 2. I'm assuming the big erasers, like what Easton's got, those big pink ones. They don't go to the store and buy one pink eraser. They come in packs of 2. Okay? Well, if they buy 2 packs with 2 erasers in each pack, I'm going to get some counters. All right, we're going to get some counters. I'll make mine red so they're actually right. We're going to get 2 red counters. Put those in front of you. That's 1 pack of erasers. 2 red counters. Just flip them over. They're red on one side and yellow on the other. 2 red counters. But we're buying more than 1 pack. We're buying 2 packs. So now I need 2 more red counters. Grace, you got 2 more red counters? Your counters should look like my counters. Hey, we made an array. Cool. Your counters should look like my counters, Brayden. They're not stacked. Mine are not stacked. Thanks. Now, if I were to make a repeated addition equation, here's a group of 2, plus here's another group of 2. Here's that same equation. Does that make sense? Ish. Alright, put your counters back. Back in the pile. Back in the pile. Alright, now we're going to try and buy 3 packs of erasers. Pull out 1 pack of erasers. 1 pack of 2. Here's 1 pack of 2. Now we need another pack of 2. Now we have 2 packs. But now we're buying 3 packs. So now we need another pack of 2. What's going to be the repeated addition equation for this array? Eliana?
2 plus 2 plus 2.
What is 2 plus 2 plus 2? Brayden? 6. Alright, on your paper, next to 3, you're going to write 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. This is 1 group, right? 3 packs of erasers. The next group is this one. The next pack. This packet only has 1. I thought erasers had 2. Where's the study? You need another one. Get another count. Go to count. It can't be all the way across though, because the packs are separate. There you go. onto that last stack. Alright, how many groups of 2 did we have? How many packs did we buy? Right? 3. 3 groups of, how many was in that pack? In each pack?
Teachers, pardon the interruption, but if you've not done your Excel sheet for the day, please do that at this time. Please do your Excel sheet. Also, if you have a way of messaging your parents.
As we were doing this and you were building with dots our school supplies, what were some strategies that you used to figure out either total number or to figure out how many? What were some tricks that you used? Brinley?
If I just look at my paper and see the past answer, and then just add like 4 or 2 to it.
I love that, and I know Issa and I had the same conversation because we would get to 4 groups of 5, and that was a lot of dots. And you would have counted them up and seen, oh, that was 20. And now you have to make 5 groups of 5. And instead of recounting, we would say, oh, I'm just adding one more group of 5. So 20 plus one more group of 5. I can do that so much faster. That becomes 25. This idea of counting on. Give me a Me Too signal if you saw that and used that strategy. You looked at your answer above and then counted on that much. I love that. Any other strategies you noticed or any other strategies you used, Eliana?
If we had doubles, I would just add the doubles.
Ooh, I like that. So when we had these long 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, you would add the doubles?
I would know that 2 plus 2 always equals 4.
Love, that's some good math gymnastics going on in that brain. She knew 2 plus 2 equals 4, and the other 2 plus 2 equals 4, and 4 plus 4, 8. Super cool. Any other tricks? Miranda? Yeah, we had some skip counting, right? If you didn't want to solve it like Eliana did, you're pretty good at skip counting. We could just go 2, 4, 6, 8. That would work out. Awesome. Awesome. Some of you have figured it out, but not everybody. In case you didn't know, you have been multiplying. Yesterday and today, you have actually, for realsy, been doing multiplication. What? 100%, you have been doing multiplication. Multiplication is the shortcut for skip counting and repeated addition. Move the worksheets to the side. Open up your math notebook one more time because this is real exciting news. Multiplication is a shortcut for skip counting and repeated addition. Go ahead and write that with some smiley faces and some exclamation points because that's super exciting.
And the next one page.
If you have room on the next blank page, if you don't, you can do it on the same page. Here's that array we looked at earlier, right? We have those 3 groups. We have 2 groups, or 2 in each group. Underneath where you've just written about multiplication being skip counting, I'm going to tell you the English version of multiplication, and then I'm going to tell you the math version of multiplication. So when I'm writing this in English, I'm going to say 3 groups of 2. Does that language sound familiar? It should. You wrote it 6,000 times on those worksheets, right? You wrote, I have 6 groups of 2. I have 4 groups of 4. I have 5 groups of 10. You're writing 3 groups of 2 down.
On the same page?
Yes, preferably on the same page. translate that. 3 groups of 2. This is how I say that in math language. 3 groups of 2. That multiplication symbol means groups of. The multiplication symbol means groups of. Liam, what does that multiplication symbol mean? Groups of. 3 groups of 2, the same language as 3 times 2. Hey.